Hey, you could probably see where I'm going with this from the title. Today, I'm going to be searching through my old sketchbooks for some characters to redesign. I had a lot to work with since I've had so many sketchbooks over the year, but I ended up deciding on this gigantic blue binder. Upon opening this sketchbook, I was greeted with the cringiest drawings that I had ever seen in my entire art career, plus a bunch of coloring pages. So that was interesting. In a bad way. Anyways, these are the two characters I picked. This spider dude named Arax and this dragon dude named Keen. So without further ado, let's get into it. So basically, this character Keen, he goes back to when I first got my Switch and I was playing Fortnite. And I remember specifically not knowing what my username was going to be. And I was like, oh, Keen-Eyed 101. And I think one day I was just like, oh, I should make a character that goes with that username. And this is like what I ended up with. I don't really remember why like he looks the way he looks. I remember he's supposed to be like a persona of me, kind of. And that's why he has paint splotches on his jumpsuit, because like he's supposed to be like, you know, an artsy person. But I don't really know what the whole like dragon thing or the eyes being covered was about. I don't really know why that's there. I don't even know what his eyes look like, to be honest. I'm not really redesigning or drawing anything interesting in this like particular part of the video, so
Flashbang!
well, that was weird. Oh look, the drawing is conveniently almost done with the sketch. Yay! So with this part, I know in the original drawing, like, Keen has a thinner tail, but like, I was like, oh, what if I like play into the dragon thing and I give him like a giant, like, freaking tail to like contrast, like, I guess, like, how kind of thinner he is? I won't say he's thin, but just to give him like an interesting silhouette, I would say. But then I was like, that looks really ugly, so then I got rid of it. And in hindsight, that kind of makes more sense, just because the wings are already big, so if he had like a big tail, then it wouldn't look right. Because in the original drawing, because of how the wings are built and because of how thin the tail is, it like makes a bunch of negative space. So it works, but like, since I don't draw wings or tails like that anymore, it's just gonna look weird. I didn't even add a tail. I just started working on the wings because, like I said, like silhouettes and all that jazz, the tail would clutter it up and it would just look really jumbled, especially with how the wings are like behind his back. Imagine how the tail would look. It would just, especially since it's the same color, it would just blend in. So I was like, you know what? Chop the tail off. We're good. We don't need it. I'm good. At this point, I was really just cleaning up the wings. Honestly, I don't really like the wings all that much. I probably should have changed the wings from like the fluffy ones to like the, like, I guess like more of like bat wings, because I think that would have captured what I was going for more. But it still looks nice, so I don't really mind. And now we're moving on to my least favorite part of this drawing, the coloring. And I know some of you are thinking, but Matcha, isn't you, wouldn't you just use the same colors as the old drawing? No, you're wrong. You'd be wrong. I have a new coloring style because it's been 4 years. And also, the colors in the old drawing were so ugly, and they didn't clash, but I feel like they weren't really the best colors ever. But I kind of wish I just would have went with the old colors, because it was so hard to find a color palette that went with this character. And the final drawing, I didn't even end up fully happy with the color palette. basically the next few. So basically, for the next however long, the only thing I'm doing is just changing the color of the jumpsuit because I don't know what color to make the jumpsuit because the skin color and the hair and the horns and the wings go completely fine together, but the jumpsuit, the shoes, I don't know what color I could have made them. Because I was like, oh, maybe I should do like something earthy, or like maybe I should use purple, because the green is on like the yellowy side. So I was like, oh, maybe I should do like a purplish pink, and that didn't work out. And so then I was like, oh, maybe like a yellowy. No, it looked gross. Then I was like, I ended up deciding on blue. Not the same shade of blue as in the reference drawing, but like another shade of blue. And it looked okay, but it didn't look as good as it could have been. I don't know what I could have done differently. I don't know color theory that much, so maybe that's the problem, but I don't know. It got to a point where I was like, oh, maybe the problem is the wings. Maybe the wings are just too bright of a green. So I was like, let me change the wings to match the jumpsuit. And then I kind of sat there and thought about it. And I was like, this is supposed to be a redesign. And even though it's a redesign, I still want to stay true to the original drawing, at least somewhat. I feel like it would be a bit, I don't know if the word I'm looking for is disingenuous, but I think it would be a little weird to not at least stay by like the general look of what the old drawing looks like, because this is a character redesign, but that doesn't mean turn the character into a whole nother character that doesn't look the same as the other character. I feel like the wings being blue really made the character look like a completely different character. And I was like, I don't think I can keep it looking like that. So I ended up changing it back to green and still not knowing what to change the jumpsuit color to. But I ended up choosing this like baby blue, powder blue for the jumpsuit. And then I just took the wing color and lowered the opacity and did like a layer over it to unify the color. And I think that came out fine. I did that with the boots too. And that's how Keen looks. Yay! Character design done. On to the next one. So the next up is Arax. This character, he kind of has a special place in my heart. I remember I first made him probably in like 7th grade, and he was a part of this like universe that I was planning on adapting to like a comic where everybody is like partially like animal due to like some like radiation and like war that happened way back when, and I had a map for it and a little journal that I wrote all the information down for and everything. And then I ended up getting rid of the character. Well, not really getting rid of him, I just don't really draw him anymore because I didn't really like what I associated him with at the time. And he was one of my favorite characters though. I remember I filled a singular sketchbook with basically just him in the span of 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe not even that, but I used to love drawing him. The thing with Arax character design is that it changed a lot. Like, the first drawing I ever did with him, which is the one on screen to the right, that was the first ever drawing I did of him, and he was kind of like skinny because he was supposed to be based off of, I think, like some type of jumping spider that was like really thin looking. And then he like progressively got like bigger. Like he was like, I don't want to say fat, but like he was just like on the plumper side, I guess. And it was so inconsistent, so his design never was really concrete, I would say. But with this redesign, I'm probably just going to redesign him completely. I'm gonna still stick to like the original design, but I want to make one that's more consistent and looks better, because I remember one of like the main problems with his old design was he got mistaken for a girl a lot, because at that point I didn't really know how to draw like dudes, and he was like one of the only male characters that I was consistently drawing. And anytime I would show like my friends or family like, hey look, they'd be like, is that a girl or a guy? Or they would just think that he's a girl, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. In this redesign, I think I'm gonna keep him looking a bit more feminine like in his older designs, but I do want to execute it better, because I do think, when I think of spiders, I do think spiders are kind of more on like the feminine side. That's not like concrete, that's just my interpretation. When I think of spiders, I think of orb weaver, I think of silk. I just inherently think that that's kind of like feminine. So I'm like, I think I should give him like more feminine traits. I kind of just wanted him to look a bit weird in general, because I think that he looked really weird in his older designs, and I kind of want to keep that in a weird way. I don't know. I want him to still look good. I want him to have a good character design, which he didn't have a good character design in his older design. But I still want him to have the essence of what the character was when I first made him. To talk about the design, so far I haven't really changed anything except his like body type, I guess. And then also I added bracelets because I thought that without any accessories, his outfit would look kind of bland and weird. I also made his hair shorter, because in his old design it was like really poofy, but like it was ugly and I didn't like it, so I changed it and it looks so much better. Also, I made his ears shorter because I think the long ears looked weird, and they would also kind of conflict with the spider legs coming out of his back. So I just made them smaller, and I made them point upwards a little more, kind of like more like short elf ears. Then I started working on the spider legs. In the old design, they were more realistic, not in the sense of style, but more in the sense of how I broke down the parts. But I wanted to simplify that and just make a silhouette of what the legs would look like. And I kind of struggled with this because I wanted to copy the leg and then put it on the other side, but I just started using Krita, so I didn't know how to do that. So I had to look up how to do it, and it took me a while. But I ended up getting it down, and then I drew the other two legs, and I think they turned out pretty good. I think they look better than if I would have drawn them like I did in the older design. If I'm gonna be honest, I found this design way more enjoyable to draw, so I actually did a sketch and then line art for this drawing, because with the dragon, Keen, I just kind of cleaned up the sketch, but for Arax, I actually did a sketch and then I did line art and then I did color. And all of that surprisingly took less time than the entirety of the previous drawing. So everything with that last drawing is just going wrong. Well, was going wrong. It's over now. Okay, so I don't feel like voicing over this entire line art section because you're just gonna be watching me do the same thing as I did with the line art. So, flashbang! Wow, I got done with that line art quick. I guess we can start on coloring now. Wow, that was so fast. I wonder how that happened. That's just amazing. So, I didn't really look at any reference for the reference colors because I know how his color palette looks. It's just a bunch of like brownish gray and like reddish black and pink for some reason. The color palette works better than you would think. But I keep forgetting on Krita that the bucket tool is a thing because when I fill anything in, it leaves this nasty white line of space around whatever you fill in. So I just don't use it. I probably still should because it's still faster than not using it. But that white line annoys me. So this coloring process is taking longer than it should have, but yeah. I made his hair pink. I don't know if I'm happy with the shade of pink. It goes well with the rest of his colors, but I'm just not sure if there's a better shade of pink. But it looks fine, so I'm not upset with it. I'm not really sure why his hair is pink. I couldn't really give you a reason because it's not dyed, but it's my OC, so I think I'm just gonna say that it's dyed because I feel like that makes the most sense because I don't like the idea of him just having pink hair and being born with pink hair. That makes me uncomfortable. I forgot to mention this, but I ended up giving him I don't know what it's called, but it's when you connect like the nose to like the forehead. I think it's like called a crown or something, or a crown to something. I don't know, but I gave him that. Like his nose is connected to his forehead. And I really like that. Like I really, really, really like that I did that. He didn't have it before. He had like a regular nose before, but like I really like the crowned thingy. I don't even know if that's what it's called, but I really like that. Anyways, I changed the colors of the bracelets because I thought they kind of took the attention from the character, and kind of my eyes kept wandering over to the red because of how like contrasting it was. So I changed that, and then I also made his hair like a few shades lighter. It's still pink, but like it's really, really light. But overall I really like his new redesign. I like this way better than the other one. Not to show favorites, sort of. I'm showing favorites, but I think this turned out really good. I would do it again. Honestly, this redesign kind of makes me want to bring him back as one of my main OCs because I haven't drawn him since probably like middle school. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my art as well as my yapping. Keep on drawing, like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe.